Welcome everybody to Aquarian Pearls, Pearls of Wisdom. And we're so happy today to be joined with Jeremy Shepherd, the CEO of Pearl Paradise in Los Angeles. Welcome, Jeremy.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
So good to be with you. I'm going to start off just asking you for everyone to tell us where you grew up and where as a young man and how you got into the pearl business.
Well, I was an army brat, so I was born overseas. I was born in Germany. I grew up mostly in the States when I was very young, but I moved to Japan in my early teen years, preteen and early teen years. And I also spent a stint living in Mexico. So kind of international for most of my life. Now I live here in Los Angeles, and I'm probably going to stay here for the rest of my life.
Fantastic. And Jeremy, how did you actually join the pearl world? Because you're not from a pearl family like a lot of people. We were chatting with Robert Wan in Tahiti, who's 86 at them now, and he said he didn't get into the pearl business till he was in his 40s when he was in the food business, and then he bought a pearl business. But how did you enter the pearl world?
Well, I'm in my 40s now. I've been in the business for a little while, so I started a bit earlier than that. Believe it or not, I was a flight attendant. I was a flight attendant for Northwest Airlines, and I was doing the route Japan, Detroit, and we opened up a long layover in Beijing, China. And our layovers in Beijing, China were 3 to 5 days. So I started spending a lot of time in Beijing, China, and happened one day into the pearl market, bought some pearls, brought them back, gave them to my girlfriend at the time, and she got them appraised, and then I saw what the value was and thought, hey, maybe there's an idea here, maybe I can do something with this. I took an investment of about $2,000, and when I say investment, I took all the cash I could out of my credit cards, so invested in myself there, and bought a bunch of freshwater pearl strands that I sold on Amazon in 1997. I think that's how I originally started the business. That was, wow, 23 years ago now.
Fantastic. Isn't it amazing, though, how you had this long layover, so you had time to find the pearl market, and things happen by accident. Like the first time I went to Los Angeles in my 20s, Qantas rang up and said, we're very sorry, but we can't let you fly through Hawaii. The plane's canceled. Can you land in Tahiti and spend one night in Papeete? So I ended up spending 3 days there and met pearl farmers and got into black pearls as well. But it was all because the plane diverted, you know. So life's full of things that seem to go wrong, but really they're going right. Isn't that the case? Yeah. That's an amazing entrance.
Right place
and of course,
right
you were selling on Amazon when people like me didn't even know what Amazon was, like traditional old-fashioned people, which in a way is quite an advantage as well. Yeah.
I have to say though, the Amazon that I sold on at the time is not the Amazon people are familiar with now. At the time, Amazon had an auction format similar to eBay. And they also had something called Z Shops at the time. So I sold on Amazon and Z Shops. eBay was just starting out. It was that long ago. But I built a website in 1999. So I've been on our own platform since then. It's been quite a while since I've been on.
Fantastic. That's just fantastic. Have you had some inspirational pearl teachers along the way from the pearl world?
Oh, wow. Inspirational pearl teachers along the way. Goodness. I'll tell you, just about every pearl farmer I've gotten to know really, really well are inspirational. And I'll say that because the only pearl farmers I've gotten to know really, really well are the ones I consider inspirational. And, you know, Josh Humbert, for example, pearl farmer in French Polynesia, I think is absolutely inspirational. The way he sacrifices profit to protect his environment, and he's so strongly behind his passion and what he believes in. He's built an entire business around his farm and his care of the environment and the atoll. I think that's absolutely inspirational. What Jewelmer has done in the Philippines, especially with the indigenous in the Philippines. Building a pearl farm in a place in the middle of nowhere and creating a community and supporting an entire indigenous population and at the same time saving the planet is pretty absolutely incredible. So
it really is. That's
I could
so
probably
inspiring.
talk about a number of other people there. Elizabeth Strack, the book she wrote, Doug Fisk, the author of the GIA Pearls course. He retired about 15 years ago, but he and I still communicate probably once a week.
Fantastic. Well, there are some very inspirational people out there, aren't there, in our world. And I'd have to say, I think you're the most advanced in the pearl world in the use of the internet and other ways of I think you were there first and by far are the most successful. So without giving away the secrets of everything, would you have any advice for people out there on internet business? Without giving away the crown jewels.
I'm not concerned with giving away the crown jewels. I think it's like any business that has its own challenges, and it's not the sort of business that if you build a website, the world is going to beat a path to your door. So there are a lot of let's put it this way. I'm not going to be able to spill the secrets to become a competitor of mine in the next 20 minutes. But if I could say anything, it really is about engagement. And I think this is something that is unique to the internet that advertisers, traditional marketers, traditional advertisers aren't accustomed to. And that is what sells online is engagement, and social media is about engagement. It's not about advertising, and differentiating between advertising and social media audience engagement is hard for some people to do. And so I see a lot of people in this industry who believe they're engaged in social media, and what they're really doing is spray and pray advertising via social media, which is really not a good ROI for the most part, unless you've got a social media strategy behind it. So the number one thing I would say is focus on your Instagram, focus on your Facebook, focus on your Pearl Guide if you're part of the community there, and engage with people. And don't just try to sell to people, because unless you've got a brand that's recognizable online, nobody's going to know who you are. And the only way you're going to engage to build a business is by engaging with people and people finding out who you are, and those people starting to talk about you online.
Fantastic advice, Jeremy.
Unless you've got a really big budget and you can just blast Google with $1 million in advertising, then we can compete.
Yeah, that works. And do you have a favorite pearls, having worked with all kinds of pearls?
Wow.
I know your beautiful wife Hisano makes the most beautiful pearl jewelry with gemstones inside.
And one of my favorite pearls is one of the pearls she uses, the souffle. Only the organic nature of it and the luster that sometimes you see on them. I'm gonna have to say Tahitian. It's it's the only pearl I consistently wear. I wear an abalone pearl once in a while, and I was gonna say I wear one of my wife's pearls, one of the pearl geodes, but it's a Tahitian. So yeah, for me it's Tahitian. I am partial to non-round Tahitians. That's what I like more than anything, because the color a single pearl can have, especially if it's a ringed pearl, a circle pearl, you can have almost the full spectrum of the rainbow, and you can watch it move like the rainbow when the pearl moves, and the right pearl can mesmerize you, I believe. I've actually got a few white pearls that I've got tucked away that I've found in the past over the years, and I take them out sometimes and just look at them. So, and almost all of them are Tahitians.
And that rainbow iridescence, that word iridescence for that rainbow play of colors that you see in Tahitian pearls, it's truly a miracle. It's amazing. I'm amazed however old we are, we're continually amazed by pearls year after year. And pearl people, my dad had a customer, Sheikh Maki in Doha, whose sons are the Alphadan group in Qatar. And he used to buy all these natural pearls year after year from my dad over the European summer and take them back to Doha, but they weren't for sale. He had a shop and people came and they drank tea and chatted about them. And the family had lots of money from oil and other things, but all they did was talk about these natural pearls. And through the centuries, I presume, pearls have been so, you know, amazingly mesmerizing because we're always fascinated with them, you know. But I must ask you about, you know, today, 2020. How do you think the business has changed, and what's going on that's different for you in Jeremy Shepherd world?
Wow, how has the business changed in 2020? You know, every year when I get asked that question, and we usually just kind of like sort of answer, but in a way you kind of make it up. It's like, yeah, it's great. I guess it's pretty well. I mean, you don't really spend that much time thinking about it. 2020, wow. Well, all the shows have been canceled. The traditional supply chain has been completely disrupted, all the way to the gold side. You know, we're seeing disruptions there. The manufacturing is being disrupted, even on the e-commerce side, shipping. So it's been a lot of work. It's been challenging, but oh my gosh. I almost don't have words. The entire business has changed in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah, it's we've changed our advertising completely. We have a completely different different market. We now have everyone at home. We didn't have everyone at home before. People were out shopping. So now the targeted advertising is you've got to start targeting people in their home office. Or not their home office, but their home office and their home. Changing the messaging, changing the time of day. It's brought a new strategy, but I can say, although business has dropped quite a bit over the last year, so far we've been fine, and we're very fortunate in that we do focus online, and our brick and mortar is not as important to us.
Yes, we're learning that finally in Australia in our business, the same thing. But we've been in television shopping in Australia for 14, 15 years, and in America for 6 years, and that's completely taken over the business, but modernized us. You know, I don't know what my dad would think, or his dad, who were busy. Their business was buying pearls from farms or farming them themselves and going to the retailers. That traditional business has shrunk to 10, 15% of our whole business, whereas it used to be 90.
You said something there that that stuck out to me. You said you modernized it, and that's a really interesting point. And I would say that's something I've noticed this year more than anything else. Well, for one, we're doing a Zoom interview.
Yes.
Something you would have done a couple of years ago. I'm probably on 5 or 6 hours of Zoom meetings a day now. And before, we would travel and have meetings, or we'd have telephone calls. It would be almost weird to do a video meeting. Now it's weird when somebody doesn't send you a video link. And so that has been the biggest change in the way we've conducted business, I think, that I've seen. It has also taught me that I really don't even need to be here in Los Angeles to run the business, because I never see anyone anymore anyway.
Yes, it's quite extraordinary, isn't it? Yeah, amazing. Jeremy, it's been fantastic talking with you today. Can I ask you as a final question, if you had a message for, you know, for the 18 to 25, 30-year-olds coming into the business who are new, like my nephew Charlie's 25, although he's a veteran, he's been at it since 18. But for new, younger people coming into the jewelry business or the pearl business, any messages for them that you'd like to say?
18 to 25 coming into the jewelry business. I would say this is a very interesting time to come into the jewelry business. And we're not sure if all your audience would really like to hear that, but you specifically asked for 18 to 25. And I think 18 to 25 are going to have a bit of a distinct advantage in the future, because we're in a major shift right now. I don't have to go into detail what that means, you know, with the pandemic, et cetera. There is a major shift in the way people are shopping. There's a major shift in the way product is being sold. There's a major shift in availability. And there's a major shift in the way people simply trust the environment they're shopping in, which changes everything in the way people shop. And so for someone who is 25 or in that age range, I would say the opportunity would be to not listen to people like you and not do it the way things have always been done, but explore this new opportunity and understand that there is a real opportunity here if you take a step back and say, what are the cards that are being dealt right now, and how can I play these cards, and not look at, okay, there's a pandemic right now, I'm going to wait an extra year, then I'm going to start my business because that's when I can go to the Hong Kong show or the Tucson show. So yeah, I would say 25 to 35 now is a major opportunity to come in and be innovative and be different, because you're going to have to be, and the ones who are going to survive are going to be the innovative and the different ones.
Fantastic. Such wise advice. It's different for every generation, but this is truly the big change. I'm sure. Yeah. Well, Jeremy, you're a total inspiration in every way to me. I've always admired you, and you've been at the forefront of the sector of the business, the internet business and everything else that I'm just learning about this year. So thank you so much for being with us on Pearls of Wisdom, and wish you all the very, very best.
Thank you.